My name is James Thompson. I'm going to start with the student attestation. All Aspen University students are required to abide by Aspen University's academic integrity policy as outlined in the university catalog. The academic integrity policy is built upon the concepts of honesty, truth, fairness, respect, and responsibility. By taking this exam, I agree to abide by both the academic integrity policy and the rules outlined on this exam. With this recording, I am attesting that I have personally completed the comprehensive exam and that the information I submit is true and accurate to the best of my knowledge. All right. So this is my action research plan. Um, so the introduction or the background, we're going to start with school dynamics. Uh, young adults between the ages of 16 and 20 comprise the student body. 180 students make up the diverse student body, including African American and members of several Hispanic ethnic groups. A sizable portion of the student body is Muslim. The majority of our students are from low-income single-parent households with several siblings. They're also eligible for free lunches and require transport to and from school. Students lack many of the necessary employability skills, work experience, and marketable abilities, which could provide them with an advantage in the workforce. All of our learners are either repeating a grade or dropped out of school altogether, and they are all overage and undercredited. Many students, male and female alike, are adolescent parents who need daycare for their kids. While many of the youngsters are keen to the workforce, many have no ambition to attend college. Furthermore, they lack desire for school stems from their unclear understanding of the relationship among learning and earning a livelihood. Because they do not know or see many successful people in their own households or communities, our learners lack the motivation required for success. So the problem statement: a strong economy depends on people possessing 21st century skills, which increases their marketability and allows them to not only find meaningful jobs, but also maintain them. Economic stability requires both technical literacy and post-secondary preparation. Post-secondary readiness and knowledge of certain technologies, both functional and operational, have a direct impact on job growth and thriving economy. Furthermore, this technology is required because our students are having difficulty. 22% of our learners are sufficiently proficient in arithmetic, and 32% are in reading, based on state test results. To offer academic support as well as post-secondary preparation, some kind of intervention is required. The term academic support describes a broad range of teaching strategies, educational programs, or school supplies that are offered to children in order to help them meet learning objectives, advance academically, and catch up to their peers who are performing on a higher level. This is not a pointless endeavor or just something to make our schools look good, but there are sincere effort. It's a sincere effort to improve academic growth and properly get the learners ready for their future. According to numerous verbal exchanges, students' indifference in academic subjects and inability to make the connections between information and their post-high school sustainability have made it extremely difficult for them to understand educational concepts in the classroom. They have stated that it appears to them that there is a lack of concern and a care for creating a learning atmosphere. Many students report lacking the inspiration, ambition, and support needed to aim high. In addition to enhancing student intellectual growth, education aims to provide them with the life skills and knowledge necessary for future employment, enabling them to make a valuable contribution to their society. Students must be the center of instruction, and the teachers should act as facilitators rather than providers. Furthermore, there is a deficiency in the rapport and relationship between students and teachers, which is crucial for promoting academic performance and educational results. Teachers must be able to build ever strong bonds with students in order to help them realize the worth of their educational opportunities and to help them comprehend how their education is seen as a commitment to their futures. Learners must realize that education and the coursework that they take are for life. not merely something that they have to finish in order to graduate from high school. It's necessary to reroute these people so that they can return their attention to their educational experiences rather than just the subject. So the research questions that I have are, what effects does high school post-secondary preparation have on the workforce development? And what ways do non-traditional academic aids support students' development and foster advancement in the classroom? And what ways may the intervention encourage students to place a higher value on their education, hence boosting their involvement and financial commitment to their schooling? What extracurricular activities may be included in this endeavor that would be beneficial to the students? And how might the program help students develop a personal connection with their subject matter? The intervention and research method. The design of programming to be offered at the level of secondary education will be the solution-based approach. This entails creating a curriculum that can be delivered in a highly structured manner, but additionally has the latitude to stray from it in order to engage students more deeply and better meet their personal and academic goals. Due to the duality, the program will be extremely effective in any context, and teachers or facilitators will be able to gain the support of different student populations with varying backgrounds. Further objectives include making sure that the staff members receive professional development in the fields of information technology and post-secondary education, as well as addressing addressing the learning culture to inspire, motivate, and encourage students, thereby fostering an atmosphere that supports their social and academic development. A mixture of quantitative and qualitative methodologies will be used in this research. Usually just a small number of variables are chosen for investigation by quantitative researchers, who then gather data only pertaining to those variables. Larger representative sample sizes are used to generate the results, and formal research tools are typically used to collect the data. Because qualitative research has a high degree of reliability, it can usually be reproduced or replicated. In order to acquire a sense of what has been said by numerous sources and incorporate those responses, the researcher should take the time to become intimately familiar with the data, analyzing qualitative data such as interviews, transcripts, observations, and archive data. Reading through all of the participants' notes and transcribed versions from start to finish multiple times is necessary to analyze qualitative data. So I have a couple of literature reviews, the first of which is Holzer, 2011, Raising Job Quality and Skills for American Workers, Creating More Effective Education and Workforce Development Systems in the States. That study aims to ascertain the importance and necessity of competitive government grants to be awarded to participating states. These grants would finance education partnerships between employers and leading companies, academic institutions, workforce development centers, and other state-level intermediaries. Furthermore, the researcher underscores the significance and influence of several supports and programs that are employed to assist underprivileged adolescents and youth. The research indicates that the intended population of people will benefit from appropriate financial investments, supports, services in the form of greater earnings and decreased unemployment rates. The study's practical remedy to unemployment stemming from a lack of employability and practical skills is also provided by the researcher, who proposes addressing a number of other concerns covered in this body of work. The second literature review was Holzer's Holzer 2015's Higher Education and Workforce Policy, Creating More Skilled Workers and Jobs for them to fill. The hypothesis with this article's evidence tests that competitive government grants to participating students used to fund education collaborations between employers and dominant companies, institutions of learning and job training facilities, and other state-level intermediaries, in addition to multiple supports and services that assist underprivileged youth and adults, will lead to lower unemployment rates and higher earnings for targeted populations. The researcher also offered a workable remedy and a plan to deal with the problem identified in this collection of work. This provides backing for the requisite research that validates the case for the necessity of the post-secondary preparedness intervention. The specific viewpoint of Holzer's essay, Raising Job Quality and Skills for American Workers, Creating More Effective Education and Workforce Development Systems in the States, will serve as the foundation for this action research project. The data discussed in this article provides a wealth of guidance and proof about post-secondary preparedness and the necessity of employability skills. Enhancing employability skills and expanding student knowledge of choices available to them through post-secondary options research are the two main goals for the study and the project execution. So for the method, the sampling techniques used for this study is the probability sampling method. This method produces results that are representative of the entire population. The stakeholders responsible for successful implementation and facilitation of the program are the school and district administrators, teachers, parents, students, and selected members of the school community. The group of internal stakeholders responsible include the superintendent of schools, building principal, program directors, multiple teachers, and approximately 180 to 200 students. External stakeholders include a number of parents, various community leaders, and businesses. The timeline for execution would consist of 3 months of summer planning with the intent to implement in the 24-25 school year. The school year would be viewed as the pilot year and progress assessed based upon the evidence collected during the year. Additional resources would include, but are not limited to, funding for various trips, uniforms, incentives, and a variety of program recommendations. The probability sampling approach was the sample strategy employed in this investigation. The outcomes of this approach are typical of the whole school population. The school community in Philadelphia, as well as the district and educational institutions, administration, teachers, parents, and students are among the stakeholders accountable for the program's effectiveness and execution. The administrators of the school, the principal of the building, the program directors, and a number of other instructors, along with the 180 to 200 pupils, make up the team of internal stakeholders that are going to be accountable. A multitude of parents, different community leaders, and corporations are examples of external stakeholders. These 3 months of summer preparation will be the execution timetable with the goal of implementing in the following academic year. The academic year will be seen as a trial year with progress evaluated in light of the data gathered. Extra resources might be funded for different items, uniforms, awards, and ranges of program suggestions. Research participants should make sure that all interested parties are notified of any advancements in their investigatory work according to Stringer. This can be accomplished during an AR process through casual discussion or the creation of briefings that clearly and concisely provide new knowledge. The principal of the school would be a crucial stakeholder in a planned action research study. The function is crucial since it is up to them to decide if it is necessary to carry out the program or convince the person that's in charge of doing so. Presenting this stakeholder with student achievement outcomes and evidence-based findings for the planned project execution will be beneficial in order to gain complete buy-in. Data sources and collective procedures. In this section, the school's records would serve as the study's data resource. Educational documentation, behavior reports, completion rates, results from standardized tests, interviews, and surveys with administration were among methods used to collect data. These methods will be judged suitable for the goals of the investigation, and the data generated made it possible to precisely investigate the study's initial questions or hypotheses. This study sought to determine whether workforce growth is impacted by high school students' preparation for post-secondary education. The body of research suggests that even when applied widely, post-secondary training and education through high school program implementation can be a financially viable solution to the problem of unemployment among underprivileged youth. The school's records would serve as the study's data source. Educational documentation, behavior reports, completion rates, results from standardized tests, interviews, and surveys, administration were among the methods that were used to collect this data. These methods were judged suitable for the goals of the investigation, and the data generated made it possible to precisely investigate the study's initial questions or hypotheses. This study sought to determine whether workforce growth is impacted by high school students' preparation for post-secondary education. The body of research suggests that even when applied widely, post-secondary training and education through the high school program implementation can be a financially viable solution to the problem of unemployment and underprivileged youth and adults. As interventions and variable manipulations, it's been recommended that Service for Support and Career and College Preparation Program called Job for America's Graduates be created in order to solve the developing difficulties identified in the problem statement section. JAG is a grant-funded initiative that is taught as a class in schools, primarily serving to help students who are at risk and from disadvantaged backgrounds, so that they can get ready for the next steps in their life after high school. Throughout its more than 30 years of existence, JAG has helped around 1 million young people complete their education by providing reliable and convincing outcomes. JAG programs prepare students for post-secondary education, the workforce, and higher education. They also help them land good entry-level employment opportunities that open up career growth prospects. Writing resumes, applying to college, interview techniques, understanding finances, issues of social justice, cultural appropriation, and community service are some of the topics that are covered in this class. It should be made very obvious that access to this innovation novelty for both the team and the organization is crucial. Conducting an anonymous needs assessment will be the first step in the data collection process. According to HOLSA, there's a significant number of students who do not graduate from post-secondary education with credentials or abilities that employers need for them to succeed in the job market. At the beginning of the school year, the needs of the students in the classroom should be very clearly defined, because certain students have and will continue to need special attention. It is not anticipated that the teacher will provide each student an entirely distinct curriculum. Instead, they will be challenged to manage the variations through a range of strategies. As there are many students who need differentiation, others who need modification, still others who need extra support for their individualized education plan, JAG would help in determining the best way to meet all of their needs. JAG will help determine the most effective way to meet the needs of the students, because many students need differentiated instruction or these other items that were identified. In the data analysis, formal reports, theses, dissertations will serve the function of informing important institutional stakeholder organizations about the findings of the study. The effectiveness of the strategy will be determined by analyzing its objective, determining whether or not these are successfully met, student academic improvement and development of employability skills are two of the plan's main objectives. Analyzing and comparing test results from the previous year with the current year is necessary to gauge academic development. A data analysis based on interview data will be conducted to identify the individual and group challenges faced by each student. The same analysis will be done on discipline records and academic reports. The program specialist and school administrator will receive the data after the study is complete, so they can check for any inaccuracies. The rationale behind the data gathering and analysis procedure will be upheld by conducting the study in this manner. Over a 3-year period, the data analysis and post-secondary experiences demonstrated favorable outcomes. The graduation percentage was higher than 92% in the pilot year, and went up with each additional year of operation. Positive outcomes, which are attained by the students' post-secondary assignments and barrier reduction, were recognized with awards for the first program specialist. These placements took place in vocational schools, the workforce, the military, and college. When the program shown to improve kids' academic performance as well as their social and emotional development, sharing the results with the stakeholders garnered additional support from school administrators. The initial research question, what are the effects of post-secondary readiness on workforce development at the level of high school, was the original research topic. Employers have benefited from the program's implementation, according to the report, since it has enabled them to hire people with the 21st century skills, which have increased their employability. Because the main focus of this initiative has been employability skills training, the program has also benefited businesses by reducing the workload associated with those basic skills trainings. As previously said, the targeted student population lacks both employability skills and job experience, as well as marketable talents, which could provide students an advantage in the workforce. Furthermore, a lot of students have experienced terrible events and might benefit from counseling. Opportunity for creative expression and a voice are essential for the students at the chosen high school. If they're to succeed academically, they must feel a personal connection to the material. Furthermore, it is essential to comprehend the relationship between education and leading a happy and healthy life. Numerous government initiatives have sought to assist in preparing students with disabilities to graduate from high school and pursue post-secondary education, according to students with disabilities graduating from high school and entering post-secondary education. It would deal with these topics in the second cycle. The numerous issues the school has with student misbehavior is something that is meant to be covered in the second cycle as well. The educational assistance for ELL and students with learning difficulties will be covered also. A student's ability to learn can be hampered by behavioral disorders, which can also leave parents perplexed about how to most effectively assist their student while their child struggles with stress or defeat. If a student's actions hinder their ability to learn, the educational institution and the JAG program will collaborate to find potential reasons for their behavior, offer recommendations for how it should be handled moving forward, and show how to behave in a way that promotes positive behavior in its place. This can be demonstrated by having students do a multitude of different things, provide support, and it will even provide additional opportunities like retaking exams, redoing homework, or going back through pieces of the curriculum to ensure that they are able to capture the content in ways that they may not have been able to in other classes. It's important to emphasize that these positions do not define or limit any member's professional identity, and the person's function inside the framework may not always align with their actual role within the company. So in conclusion, first, consistency. It's been determined by the investigation that results were in fact in line with the evaluated literature, even when implemented on a large scale. A solid body of research indicates that some education and training initiatives may be financially advantageous for resolving these problems. Research implications. The issue that needs to be addressed based on the research in this study is that there are significant and possibly growing differences in educational attainment and achievement between Americans from higher and lower income backgrounds. In a private context, the study may also suggest that concerns about discipline, culture, and atmosphere ought to be addressed. Additional research, the same sample group's technology learning curve and the ways that technological literacy affects their achievement in post-secondary education should be one of the main topics of future research. Critical strategies and action research. Because it allows researchers to formulate the problem tentatively and then refine and reorganize the study through many iterations within the Look, Think, Act research cycle. Action research has a great deal of influence. The most crucial tactic for finishing an action research project, action research process is to use the Look, Think, and Act framework. This framework enables researchers to start their studies in a way that offers clarity and a chance to expand on detailed procedures as the complexities of various issues become more intense. Thank you for listening to my action research plan, and hopefully I covered all of the areas.